You know, one of the things I said is that we should have, in my opinion, anybody running for president or vice president should take a cognitive test. And no president has ever taken one except me. I've taken 3 of them, and I've aced each one in the first administration.
Donald Trump reignited the debate over presidential fitness by arguing that everyone running for president or vice president should be required to take a cognitive test. He said the office demands sharp judgment and quick decision-making, making mental fitness just as important as physical health. Trump framed the proposal as a way to reassure voters that candidates are capable of handling the pressures of the presidency. His remarks immediately sparked debate, with supporters calling the idea a reasonable standard for high office, while critics questioned whether cognitive exams should become a political issue at all. Either way, the comments put mental fitness back at the center of the campaign, ensuring the discussion would continue long after the speech ended.
No president, think of this, has ever taken one. How do you think Biden would have done? I don't think, he might not have gotten that first question right. Anyway, and Obama would have done poorly. They would have done very poorly, but I think you should have it. As soon as they said that, they say it's unconstitutional. And I said, why? They say it's unconstitutional to give a cognitive test like that.
Trump went even further by claiming that no previous president had voluntarily taken a cognitive test, while insisting that he had not only taken one but had aced 3 separate exams. He once again pointed to the cognitive assessment he completed at Walter Reed, saying it proved his mental sharpness and ability to handle the demands of the presidency. The remarks echoed a talking point Trump has repeated for years whenever questions about age or fitness arise. While supporters viewed it as evidence of confidence and transparency, critics argued that repeatedly highlighting the tests invited scrutiny and inevitably became material for comedians.
Now, 8 years ago, the headmaster at the academy was ordered to find Trump's academic records and help bury them. And the demand came just days after Donald Trump challenged President Barack Obama to show his records to prove that he hadn't been a terrible student.
Stephen Colbert responded by revisiting a story that has followed Donald Trump for years. During his monologue, Colbert pointed out the irony that Trump had publicly questioned Barack Obama's academic credentials, while reports claimed Trump had once asked his own former school not to release his grades. Colbert used the comparison to argue that Trump often demands transparency from others while resisting similar scrutiny himself. The joke quickly landed with the audience, turning an old controversy into a fresh punchline and reminding viewers how political comedy often draws on past headlines to challenge today's political messaging.
The first question is very easy, and they always show the first question is, you have a lion, a bear, an alligator, and what's another good, a squirrel, okay? Which is the squirrel?
So glad that we have a president who can differentiate between an alligator and a squirrel.
Desi Lydic then shifted the conversation from politics to comedy by poking fun at Trump's repeated description of the cognitive exam. After Trump explained that one of the questions involved identifying different animals, Lydic sarcastically joked that she was relieved to know the president could tell the difference between them. The humor wasn't aimed at the medical test itself, but at the simplicity of the examples Trump chose to emphasize. Her punchline highlighted why the story had become such an easy target for late-night television, turning what Trump intended as proof of mental fitness into one of the funniest moments of the segment.
But Trump struggling to remember all the animals isn't a surprise. In fact, maybe that should be the cognitive test.
You have a lion, a bear, an alligator, and what's another good, a squirrel, okay? Which is the squirrel?
At this point, I'm not even sure there was even a test. I feel like there's a good chance the president was just watching Zootopia.
Desi delivered one final punchline after Trump once again described identifying animals during the cognitive exam. Rather than believing he was recalling a medical assessment, she joked that it sounded more like he had spent the afternoon watching Zootopia. The audience burst into laughter as the comparison turned Trump's detailed recollection into an animated movie reference. It was a classic late-night setup, taking a real political statement and exaggerating it just enough to create a memorable joke. Whether viewers agreed with the satire or not, the exchange showed how quickly even routine political remarks can become viral comedy. What started as a discussion about cognitive testing quickly turned into another battle between politics and late-night comedy. While Donald Trump argued that his test results proved he was mentally fit for office, comedians like Stephen Colbert and Desi Lydic used his own remarks as material for satire, questioning not the test itself, but the way he repeatedly described it. Once again, a political talking point became one of the week's biggest viral moments.